So, you've decided to dip your toes into the vast ocean of chess? Fantastic. Let's embark on this whimsical journey together, shall we? First things first, setting the stage. Remember, white is right. Queens go on their own color. Now, imagine this. You're the ruler of your own tiny kingdom, and your loyal subjects, your chess pieces, are ready to do your bidding. But hold your horses. We've got some rules to learn. Each side gets an army of 16 quirky characters, split into 2 teams, white and black. These aren't your ordinary troops, mind you. We've got kings, queens, knights in shining armor, bishops with fancy hats, rooks that look suspiciously like tiny castles, and pawns that are just dying to prove their worth. Now, pay close attention, because here's where the magic happens. Each piece has its own quirks and moves. The king, he's the big cheese, but he moves like your grandma on a Sunday stroll, 1 square at a time. The queen, she's the real MVP, gliding gracefully across the board in any direction she darn well pleases. The knights, they're the wild card adventurers, leaping over obstacles like gallant steeds in search of treasure in an L shape. The bishops, they're the holy rollers, sliding diagonally across the board with divine purpose. And the rooks, well, let's just say they're the dependable workhorses, charging forward in straight lines, vertically or horizontally, like tiny battering rams. And those humble pawns? Oh, they may seem unassuming, but they've got big dreams. They march forward, 1 square at a time, but watch out. They've got a secret weapon. When they reach the other side of the board, they can transform into any other piece they please. Talk about a Cinderella story. On their opening move, the pawns can move 1 or 2 squares, but only on each pawn's first move. Oh, and don't forget about those special moves. Castling lets your king take a little jaunt, and your rook do a nifty sidestep to safety. Your king only gets this opportunity on its first move. If the king moves to any other square, it can no longer castle, which will generally make it harder to get your rooks out. And you want your rooks out? They're strong allies on the board. It also has to be the rook's first move. The king also cannot castle if it is in check from another piece, or if it would move through an attacked square. Heard of en passant? It's like a surprise party for pawns, letting them nab an unsuspecting foe. Basically, if a pawn moves 2 spaces, but another piece could have captured it if it had only moved 1 space, that player on their next move may choose to capture the pawn, as if it had only gone 1 square forward. Still with me? Okay, let's talk about capturing. When your piece lands on the same square as an opponent's piece, it's time for a showdown. Your piece triumphantly captures the enemy piece, sending it back to its own side like a defeated foe. But here's the kicker. Pawns are the only pieces that move differently when capturing. They can only move diagonally to capture, like a stealthy ninja sneaking up on its prey. Pawns cannot capture moving forward if something gets in their way. They are stuck there until help arrives. When a king is attacked by an opponent's piece, it is considered check. The player whose king is in check must then make a move to either get their king out of danger, block the attack, or capture the attacking piece. Checkmate occurs when a king is in check and there are no legal moves to remove the threat. Now, who moves first? Well, white gets the honor of making the opening move, like a gracious host welcoming you to the chessboard party. But fear not, black gets a turn right after. And then it's a whirlwind of moves, counter moves, and cunning strategies. So, there you have it, my eager chess novices. Armed with this newfound knowledge, you're ready to conquer the chessboard with style, finesse, and maybe just a touch of whimsy. So go forth, make your moves, and may the pawns be ever in your favor.